We've been waiting on this payoff for a while now. Rhea Ripley has been injured since the week after WrestleMania, and we finally got a return from Rhea Ripley, but I don't think it's exactly what everybody was looking for. At least me. At least me. I'm just talking for myself. I don't know how everybody else feel about it, but Rhea Ripley is back, guys, and I don't know how to feel about it yet. I was waiting for her return, but it didn't really feel like a return. I don't know. But Omer, let's go on ahead and start with you, sir. Let me know how you feel about this Rhea Ripley return.
Yeah, I'll start by saying this. Anytime Rhea Ripley or any big star returns, it's important. Like, don't get me wrong. It is very important. Like, she's the most over woman on the entire roster. Arguably, like, I would say, like, one of the top 3 most over acts in the entire company right now. And so it's always a big deal when she returns. I think the question is, like, how? And, a matter of, like, timing and where in the story we're at. It just feels to me like her return fell flatter than it should have. And I'm not sure what it was. Maybe it was the fact that, like, the segment just did not feel like it did anything. That's what I feel like. Like, Dominic and Liv were, like, still doing this, like, push, pull, will they, won't they kind of thing. And then Rhea just comes, Liv runs away, and then Dom is, like, sitting in there, and then they cut to black. And so I'm just like, all right, what happened? Rhea returns, we get that, but where does that leave the story? And it wasn't like it left me on a cliffhanger, right? It's not like I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to see, like, how they, like, do this next. It's kind of like, what was that? I'm more confused than anything. So, again, we'll see what happens. I will always wait it out, but a little underwhelmed, I'm not going to lie.
Fair enough.
Mr. Valentine?
Sure. Look, man, okay. Here's the thing. I'm also a little underwhelmed. I thought this return was mid. I like the fact that Rhea Ripley still feels like a star even after all this time. I mean, obviously, but this removed any doubt. She's still as big as she was. Anyway, I was going to say something else about her being big, but I shouldn't. I like the fact that, like, yeah, she still got it. Whatever she does after this, it's going to be good. And it felt like this man returning to the WWE right here. Because when he returned at whenever it was, Survivor Series, it was just like, hey, CM Punk is back. That's literally it. Nothing else. Rhea Ripley, she's back. That's literally it. Nothing else was done here. And I think, like, even at the very beginning of this build-up with Liv Morgan, to everybody, it's obvious what Dominic is thinking. There's more than enough receipt here for not Liv Morgan, but Rhea Ripley to, I guess, show off Liv Morgan, fine. But get into the ring and deck Dominic Mysterio, man, or slap anything. She's still like, Dominic, what's going on? Like, that makes her look a little stupid in my book, I'll be honest with you. Sure, you want to give us that, like, okay, what's going to happen? What Rhea is going to say? Like, are they going to go, go crazy? Are they going to, go ahead and move past this? We don't know the answer. But I just thought, yeah, Rhea should have come in there and at least pushed him, at least showed us, like, very clearly that, man, I know exactly what you're doing. I'm not stupid. And now it's time to pay. But no, they didn't do that. As a matter of fact, it cut off while they were going to do something. I don't know. Rhea went to touch, like, Dominic or something like that. And then the show was already over. It's 3 freaking hours. Figure out a way to go ahead and get your crap in. Like, this is like the most important segment of the night besides the beginning. So cool that Rhea Ripley's back. The way they executed it, I thought it could have been better.
I think every one of these guys have lost their minds because the return was perfect. It's exactly what they were building to.
Here go Mr. Attitude Era Brain.
Listen, exactly. And that's what we got tonight. Because throughout the night, they were planting these seeds, letting us know, like, yo, Rhea Ripley's coming back. It's going to be some trouble at the end of the night. We saw the thing with Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan on top of her or whatever. Damian Priest got the call. It was like the writing was on the wall. And since Rhea Ripley left, this is the story we were building to. So they delivered on exactly what they were telling us was going to happen. Dominic Mysterio is going to get caught messing with Liv Morgan, and then he got caught red-handed. He was right on top of her when she came out. And, I mean, what more do you want than that? Boom, everything elevated. It got to this point where Dominic Mysterio finally beat Rey Mysterio, so he was elated. And him being elated, he finally kind of gave in, even though he was still hesitant, and him and Liv Morgan was in there doing it up before Rhea Ripley came out. Now, y'all are saying he should have came out there and she should have slapped him or she should have hit him. So
I just wanted more from Rhea Ripley.
We want her to get a CDV charge, right? That's what we want. That's what we want them cheating. Everybody was watching.
I want
if you
one.
catch your partner cheating, you hit him. No,
I
this
want
was
two
perfect.
things.
Hold on, Brian.
No,
Because
you're
you
right.
just brought
This
up
is
I
WWE.
want-
There's no room
I
for
want the
violence
I
in
let
the
everybody
WWE.
cook.
You're so right,
I let
Kenny.
everybody cook, even though I didn't agree with nobody.
You're right.
But
Go ahead.
this is exactly what you need in wrestling. Y'all said we didn't get the blow off. Yes, we did. At the end of the show, we saw Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio looking at each other like, what's going on? Dominic Mysterio reached out for a hug, and you could see her kind of push him away, but then it shut off. Now you got to come back next week to see what's going on. Perfect way to end the show. Perfect way for her to make her return because it plays into the story they were telling this whole time. This was beautiful.
This was horrible. You know what I'm saying?
So what did you want? What did you want? Book it.
I wanted something more, bro. I first off, I would have had the show finish correctly. That's one.
What's
You and
correctly? What's the correct way to finish it?
Bro, I'm talking about make the whole segment fit in the show, bro. Kiro said it, bro.
The
You got 3
segment
hours.
They finished it. They completely finished the segment. What do you mean?
It was obviously not finished, bro. If
the
if
segment
the thing
was
cut out
finished, bro.
mid
This was
action.
the end. Like y'all want everything right now tonight. The segment is finished. Come back next week and see what happens.
Oh, that is
wanted the
you.
full
That
resolution,
is
the
you.
full payout.
Bro, we've been
It's
waiting for
storytelling,
like
man. This
6
is
months
wrestling.
and 2 hours too. Like the whole show was building up to this, and
Yes.
they didn't deliver on it. Just like you were defending months ago, the retirement of Sting. I think when that got cut off early without really happening, we got mad at it. It's the same thing here. Like Rhea did nothing. She just said hi.
And you
I
can't-
exist.
and you
This
can't
is
say-
different. This is different. This was the
And you
plan.
can't say that we're not keeping our same energy because
But
me
this
and
was the
Kira were
plan.
mad at the
Yeah,
AEW thing,
same thing.
and we're mad here
Same
today.
thing.
But this
So
was
we're
the
keeping
plan
the
tonight.
energy.
Y'all are saying they didn't finish the segment. They cut it off before the segment was finished. No, they finished the segment. That was the end. Now you got to come back and see what happens next week. That's
I
the
don't.
whole point of the
If
segment
they
ending like
executed
that.
horribly, I don't want to see Money in the Bank next year because they just wasted it last week, like last night. I don't want to see this now because they didn't do it properly.
I agree.
That's
But
my point.
this is a story. This is storytelling. This is week to week. You can't blow it off for the same week. Like I remember that night. I was telling y'all before. Like the Undertaker was dressed up as Kane and he took the mask off and the show went off. And I was like, "What? What's going on? What's going to happen?" So I couldn't wait till next week to see it. And that's the same thing this was.
But okay, go ahead, Omar.
Kenny, just like how Eminem says about the modern day rappers, we are not alike. We are not alike. These two things that you're talking about are not alike. What you're describing is a cliffhanger that actually has people invested and understanding like enough of what's going on to be like, I have to tune in next week to see what happens next. Like you're excited. This did not have that same level of excitement, not nearly enough.
For me.
And for me, okay, well, let me explain something.
Objective.
And like the idea that you bring back Rhea Ripley is great. We should bring back Rhea Ripley. But it should be at a point in the story, right, where Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan have established that they are more than just what ifs, right? It just feels like, I think to a lot of fans out there, that we still haven't established like what this dynamic is outside of Liv really wants Dom, but it probably should go a little bit farther of Liv being manipulative of Dom, Liv only wanting Dom because she wants to get back at Rhea Ripley. Like that's like should be that dynamic they're establishing. They have not done that yet. And it just seems like
they have. They've started
my
it.
opinion.
They've started it like we want it all tonight.
I'm almost done. You can wait 10 more seconds.
They've started it already.
You can't wait 10 more seconds. It just feels like they did this because it's the third hour of Raw. They need something to hook the fans for that third hour. We're just going to bring back Rhea Ripley without really the story being there. And look, you can call it a terrible one, bro. That's a real one. Real Take Wrestling. Go subscribe. But I don't know. I just think that's it. And also, I just got to say, Kero, this was not CM Punk returning a Survivor Series. Come on, bro. Let's not even go there. Like,
no, what I was saying
sorry.
was really simple. CM Punk came in there and said, I exist. Rhea Ripley came in here, said, I exist. Did nothing to further the story. There was not a CM Punk's return was not a good return when you look at it in a booking sense. Yeah, it's like it was very surprising. It was an amazing moment.
You can't compare that. You can't compare that. You can't compare that.
Live stream because I remember.
Hold on.
Come on now.
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying though.
Now you said they're supposed to be building, manipulating, and all of this stuff. This is obviously what they're doing. Finn Balor taking the key. Finn Balor in the room by himself with Liv Morgan. The story is not over. You want the blow off tonight?
Nobody's saying we need the payoff tonight. We're talking about the
they
payoff
are
of Rhea's
building it up.
return.
You're not going to get it all as soon as Rhea Ripley returns.
Rhea returned. They did the blow off tonight. They did the instant gratification thing. Kenny, come on now.
It just makes Rhea look like an absolute idiot. She's an absolute idiot. She doesn't know what's going on at this point. She doesn't have a TV. She doesn't have a phone. She's an absolute idiot.
Well, I mean, we have TVs, we have phones, and we don't even know what's going on. We have no idea what's going on with Finn Balor and Liv Morgan, or if there is something going on with those two.
Well, I mean, we obviously know what's going on with those two. Yeah. But the point, bro, that's not Omer and I's point, though, bro. That's not what we're talking about.
Omer just said, I mean, pretty much.
We're not talking about the payoff of this entire storyline. We're talking about
repeat back
Rhea Ripley's return.
Okay,
the storyline is obviously not over.
So what did you want? Did you want her to return at the beginning of the night and them to blow off the whole story tonight?
Bro, the whole story is not blown off, and it would have never been blown off tonight anyway. Just by the way, I just want to make that clear to you, bro. I just wanted more. It didn't feel like a good return. It wasn't good.
A great return. It was perfect for the story. You saw Rhea Ripley. Now you got to come back next week to see what happens with the Judgment Day. Perfect.
I think you're a bit too delusional.
We got a few weeks until SummerSlam. Lead us into it.
That Attitude Era brain goes, bro, is bad.
I will say this. This is one of the few things that Monday Night Raw, which in my opinion is probably the worst of the major wrestling shows we got right now. This is one of the few things from the show that hooks me. Like, that has hooked me. Like, that keeps me tuning in, keeps me watching the Judgment Day stuff. To me, as someone who's been a fan of this story since they started it, this fell flat. And it fell flat in a very, like, disappointing way. Like, that's just my take.
He's just being reactionary at this point, Kenny is. But yeah. The lead up to it was great.
Gaslight picture up, so I had to do it.
Oh, fair enough. Okay,
come on, man.
Point.
You know me. I'm always in the gym.
I don't know. Maybe next week, a month later, we'll see it your way, Kenny. But right now, for me and for I guess the three of us, it's kind of rough, man.
But y'all let us know what you think in the chat. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell.